aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. Today, or tonight, I'd like to talk a little bit about what to expect from the solar eclipse that is currently taking place and will commence at its peak in about an hour and 40 minutes. So, really, the first thing that I want to distinguish is that a lot of times when it comes to full moons or solar eclipses or anything like that, a lot of people feel like you have to actually be outside looking at it in order for it to affect you. But hopefully we're mature enough to know that that's not necessarily the case. These things are happening in a higher plane, right? And where they're actually happening, there is an echo. And that's what we have in the sky. And that same echo from the same source is what we have in our personal day-to-day experiences. So in other words, if Mercury is in retrograde, if Saturn is in your fifth house, if there is a solar eclipse or lunar eclipse or whatever, full moon or even a new moon, it has absolutely no difference whether or not you see it, right? But what's actually happening is these are vibrations, and vibrations have a manifestation on the physical plane. So that's how we're able to look at astrology and tell what's happening in the world. It's not because a planet is in a place, but the vibration that moves everything, we can kind of read it based on where things currently are. If that makes sense, let me know if it doesn't in the chat. What's good, Xavier Shaffer Bay? Greetings, Dara Buckland. Al Dickey, peace, brother. Timon, peace, peace. Lydia Morton, good evening. Yes, this is solar eclipse today, actually. But I think a lot of us have been feeling it for the past couple of days. And another thing, not only do you not have to actually witness it, it doesn't just happen on the moment that they say it's supposed to happen. It's also, it's energy, right? So it gradually ramps up, it hits its peak, and then it subsides. So you've been feeling the effects of it already. The peak should be happening, like I said, in about 2 hours, an hour and 45 minutes. But you can look all that stuff up yourself. The main thing that I wanted to talk about in this video is what to expect personally. Now, this isn't going to be an in-depth astrology breakdown, but greetings, abnormal. But one of the things that I've noticed is that there's a big emotional, what's a good word? Mixing and mashing going on. For some people, it's very, very, very painful. For others like myself, it's extremely draining, right? I don't usually put too much personal stuff out there, but I'm finally coming to a point where I'm recovered physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually from a lot of things that I've been going through for the past few weeks. Nothing terrible, just changes, right? And that's the theme of this solar eclipse, changes. There are changes coming. So here's the focus. The focus is to take some time tonight, when it's about to hit this peak in about an hour and a half. And it doesn't have to happen exactly on that time, but this would be a good moment to sit down, press the pause button, and take a look at your life and take a good account of where you'd like for your life to be in the next 6 months. Typically, the effects of these eclipses last for about 6 months or so. So tonight would be a great time to stop whatever you're doing and just take about 30 minutes to an hour and really think about the direction of your life. That's the key for this solar eclipse, is to be an active participant in your future, an active participant in where this thing is going. So I'll just give a few examples because there's usually three types of people in the world. One type of person is like a young man that I met at the conference that I just spoke at a week ago. And basically it was a brilliant young man. Essentially, he was very talented He could pretty much do anything as far as music, as far as art. I'm pretty sure he said he's into uh, coding, things like that. Very talented individual. But see, the problem with talented individuals, and his question was, what do I do? I've got all this potential of what I can do. What do I do? Where do I go? And how do I know what to choose? How do I know it's the right choice? See, when I was growing up, my parents used to always ask me, what do you want to go to college for? What do you want to go to college for? And I almost was paralyzed because I couldn't choose, because there were so many different things that I could do. I was interested in art. I was interested in science. I was interested in health. I was interested in psychology. I had so many options that I was paralyzed, that I was frozen. And there might be some of you guys who feel that way, right? So when I say you want to take some time tonight to really plan your future, to really have a focus of what direction you want to go in, that can actually sound like a very intimidating task. But I've got an answer for that, right? So like I said, I've been dealing with this for years. The second kind of person is a lot like a student of mine, female. She doesn't realize how talented she is, right? I can see the talent and the value that she brings, but she doesn't see it. So while I give a bunch of suggestions and I ask her to do the same thing, plan out your future, she draws a blank because she doesn't recognize what she's capable of. So here again, we're also frozen. Frozen because we don't see the options, right? The first person has so many options that they're frozen. The second person feels like there's no options and they're frozen. And then there's the third type, which is like myself, where you have made accomplishments, where you have checked off things on your list, where you have made progress, where you're talented and you're using your talents, right? And you're moving in the direction that you want to go in. But the thing is, the future looks kind of blank, right? That's kind of where I stand right now. It's very cloudy. I can't see what's happening tomorrow, right? I've got an idea of where I want to go and what I can do. But the thing is, the radar, it seems we've hit a blank point. So while my efforts do seem like they are being rewarded and a lot of things are paying off, it's kind of hard to see from this point. I guess maybe I didn't expect to make it this far. Maybe I didn't expect to have to plan past this point. Whatever the reasoning is, just like the first two examples, I'm also feeling somewhat of a standstill. So this is actually really important because of what's going on in the higher realms. And when I say what's going on in the higher realms, I mean whatever vibration is taking place so that a lunar eclipse had to manifest right now. In other words, a lot of people are feeling the standstill, the stagnation. Let me know in the chat if you're feeling anything like that. What's good, Amar? Peace, bro. Peace, Framestar. Stan Jones, peace. He's just familiar, peace. But yeah, let me know. Let me know in the chat if you fit in either of those categories. If you're somebody who is extremely talented, but you kind of don't know where to spend your efforts. Let me know if you're someone who doesn't know what they're capable of, who doesn't even see the value that they possess. And let me know if you're somebody who is making progress, but the future looks kind of cloudy. Or not. Let me know if none of those apply to you. Yeah, Timon, that's exactly what I'm feeling. Timon says, yes, I know what to do. I have all options ahead of me, but I'm just stuck for some reason or no reason. Yeah, that sums up exactly what I was talking about, right? But that's okay, right? That's perfectly okay, because all of that stagnation, all of that pause has culminated to where we are now. Now is the point where a decision needs to be made. Now is the point where it's time to kind of just take a step back and recognize what's going on. So, as far as the individual who had all of the options and all the talent, all the potential, and realized that he did, right? One of the best suggestions that I made for him, and at least from what he said, it helped him make it all click, was it's best to understand where you want to go. Someone who has all the potential and all the skills, they're great in the present, but they have no perception of the future. So now's the time to stop and accept, yeah, you can do all those things. Cool. But what's the point? What's your major goal? When I was frozen like that as a high school student, and my parents were like, choose something, pick something, and it just stalled me out. I didn't want to do anything because I didn't want to get locked in one path that I wouldn't be happy with 5 years later, right? I didn't want to go to school for medical stuff and I wanted to actually be a computer technician. I don't want to go to school for computer stuff, but I actually wanted to do art, right? So I was looking ahead. I was already canceling myself out. So what I would have told myself back then was to sit down and really visualize where you want to be in life, right? It sounds basic and simple, but that's what I never did. That's what I never did until a few years ago, right? To figure out exactly where you want to be, to sit down and see your life, see what your life would look like in 5 years. In this case, what's the next 6 months going to look like for you? What's the next 6 months going to look like for you? Where are you going to be? Are you going to be in the same home? That's cool. Are you going to have gained some new information, some new knowledge, some new skills, right? Picture yourself 6 months from now. What exactly are you doing 6 months to the day? What have you accumulated? What have you acquired? What have you released? What have you let go of? How have your finances changed? How have your relationships changed? Is there anybody in your life that is not going to be there in the future? Are there a type of people that you want in your life that isn't here yet? Really take the time and think about where you want to be. That is more important than what skills you currently have. Because when you figure out exactly where you want to be, now you can understand which one of those skills you need to spend time developing and connecting to propel you to that point in the future. I know that sounds really basic, but you can ask yourself, have you done that yet? Are you currently doing that? For the second type of person, the kind of person who doesn't really see their value, doesn't really know what they're capable of, feels like they want to achieve great things and kind of has an idea of where they want to go but doesn't know how to get there. What I would suggest, again, is to really take into consideration where it is you want to go and see that clearly, right? But when you're backtracking, thinking about how to get there, focus on what skills and what knowledge you need to acquire to get to that point. For example, if you're somebody who wants to get into trading cryptocurrency and having success with that, well, you might not know anything about it. So now's a good time to start looking for teachers, looking for different videos to watch, to really understand, okay, I'm starting at the preschool level and I want to be here, so I'm willing to go through the time and the effort to acquire the necessary knowledge to move forward. If you're someone who doesn't know what you're capable of, at least have a vision of what you'd like to have in your life. And then make an effort to understand what skills are required to get there. All you have is time. All you have is time. Take the effort and it will certainly pay off. You'd be surprised what you can do in 6 months. We overestimate what we can do in a day and we underestimate what we can do in a year, right? And for the third person, like myself, in this case, I'd have to be giving advice to myself. But essentially, I would say stay the course. You already know the vision. You already know where you want to go. You already know where you want to go. You spend a lot of time invested in visualizing the future for yourself. You're gaining the necessary skills. You've got your plan set out. You got your daily routine in order. So now it's time to trust yourself. Now it's time to trust yourself. Even though it seems bleak and dark and foggy and you can't see tomorrow, that's okay. We walk not by faith, but we walk by sight. That's what the Bible says, right? So it's not about what today looks like, and it's not about how today feels. It's about that vision. Hold on to that vision. Trust that vision. You have that vision for a reason. You don't just have that vision just because. You have it for a reason. So hold on to that vision and understand that the dark clouds will pass. Understand that the uncertainty will dissolve, right? Because this is the material plane, this is Malkuth. It is nothing but change. It's also nothing but patterns. So if you stay tightly grasped to your vision, that's going to naturally create a pattern or assign you to an existing pattern, which means you can predict how far you're going to go and how quickly you're going to get there. So trust yourself. You got the green light. Go. That's what I would say. And that's what I'm actually doing for myself. Most certainly, most certainly. So yeah, like I said, we've got this solar eclipse happening right now. We're still in the midst of the reverberations of a lunar eclipse, so this is like a double whammy. But I'm not going to give you the breakdown of if it's in your 6th house and your 8th house. That's for somebody else to do, right? I'm focused on mindset. I'm focused on manifestation. I'm focused on getting better at what it is that I do. So that's going to require a maintenance of the framework. Maintain your frame. Trust your vision. First of all, if you don't have a vision, get one. Get your vision in order. Get your vision in order. Figure out what needs to be done to achieve it. And trust the vision. Trust it. Trust it. Right? You received it for a reason. And even though things look dark, don't switch. Don't jump to another ship. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Just keep going. The dark days and the cloudiness and the fog, it passes. It passes. Especially if you're consistent. And if you're not able to do as much today as you'd like to do, that's fine. Do what you can. Do your best. Do your best, because that is the best thing to do. If you can only read one page today, that's fine. If you can only watch 5 minutes of a video, if you've only got the energy to get up and, do 50% of your workout, 30% of your workout, that's enough. Don't beat yourself up. Maintain your mind. Stay focused. So that's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to convey about this lunar solar eclipse. Let me know if this has helped you. Let me know if you get any insight from this. Let me know if this is something that resonates. Let me know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, this is a wonderful time, really. A wonderful time. You know what I mean? Especially if things seem dark. Especially if you don't seem to fit in. If you don't have anybody around you who understands what the hell you're talking about or what you're interested in. If everybody's wrapped up in the world drama. Take this as something to be happy about. Because number one, you're not wrapped up in the bullshit. Number two, this is actually giving you the time and the space and the clarity to see things how they actually are, not how you're emotionally attached to how you wish it would be. You're able to see people for who they are, to see relationships for how they are, and not in an attempt to judge people or, this person is selfish, so I'm going to cut them off. No, just understand that everybody's selfish. Everyone has motives to keep themselves in pleasure and out of suffering. So understand that's how human beings, that's just the algorithm of the human mind. There's no need to judge anyone or hate anybody. Everyone is just trying to be happy and trying to reduce the suffering. Understand that, and you'll go so much further when it comes to other people. If you're at the level where you understand that, then naturally you're going to start receiving information that is of a higher quality. Because most people who are locked in the flesh and the 5 senses and chasing pleasure, running from pain, most people who are locked in that cycle, even if higher information was transmitted to them, they wouldn't be able to integrate it. They wouldn't be able to process it because they're too busy chasing pleasure and running from pain and being distracted. So if you don't fit in with the world, if you don't fit in with people, That's a good thing. It's a good thing. So learn. Take this time to learn. Take this time to study. Take this time to know thyself. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And as another thing, just to let you guys know, I have been taking a break to recharge, to get myself back in order, to run the class that I've been doing, the inner light activation system. So yeah, things have been pretty busy for me. Still working on the app. Still working on everything associated with that. That hasn't gone anywhere. I've just been managing my energy to do what I'm actually able to do. I can admit I actually bit off a little bit more than I can chew, but that's okay. That doesn't mean give up. That just means readjust and make things work. So, what to look forward to as far as this YouTube channel? I'm gonna take 2022 to master the Kabbalah system. There's gonna be no stone unturned. There's gonna be no confusion. There's gonna be no guessing and assumptions. I'm gonna take the next 12 months to master the Kabbalah. So if you'd like to join me on that quest, by all means, you're welcome. You got a seat on this spaceship, and if you don't care, that's fine too. But that's my goal for the next 12 months. So for the book study, we're definitely going to go over Mystical Kabbalah again in June. I also plan on doing Israel Regardie's Tree of Life, as well as Gareth Knight's Guide to the Kabbalistic Symbology. And there's another book, Ladder of Lights, that I'm going to be getting into. So if you're interested in mastering the Kabbalah and understanding everything that goes along with it, stay tuned. Follow me. Join the YouTube membership so that when we do the book studies on Sundays, you'll be able to chime in, be a part of the discussion and get some of the notes that I'll be making that's only available for the membership. For the next 5 months, we are going to be going over some more books on yoga and psychology so that we can get our minds right to be able to tackle the Tree of Life. But in the meantime, I'm also going to be reading those other books. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. While everyone else is talking about burning sage and the metaverse and we got to fight back or whatever, we're going to be mastering the secrets of the universe. So stay tuned if that is interesting to you. All right. So I'm about to start mapping out my future and probably hop on some Fortnite. So stay positive, stay confident, maintain your frame. You got this. Absolutely. If you can't see tomorrow, look at your vision. Trust that because that's going to be your tomorrow. Reality doesn't tell us what is, we tell reality what is. All right. So this is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I love you guys. Peace.